All right, today for homework, we're going to test in and out tables for expressions with one variable and two operations. And Riley and some friends are going to help us out. First of all, that is not the right kind of table. An in and out table is set up like this. Let's begin. Let's start by reading the directions. Which rule shows how to find p in the table below? Well, we're looking at expressions already given to us. What we're going to do is we're going to take the number that is represented for m in the table, plug it into each equation to see if it equals what is the output, which is p. Let me show you what I mean by that. First thing we're going to do is start with the smallest number, which here is 3, and we're going to plug that into where m is. That way I can look to see if 3 divided by 2 is something I can do. Then when I take away 3, I might get 8. One problem I have with this is I cannot divide 3 by 2 and make it a whole number. So I know from the beginning that this cannot be correct. Let's do the next one. If I plug 3 into the next one here, I find that 3 divided by 3 equals 1, and then I add 2, and I get the number 3. Well, 1 plus 2 equals 3, but when I look back at my table, it is not the same as 8. So therefore, that cannot be correct either. Next, I'm going to look at 3 times m minus 1. So I take m and replace it with 3, and I end up with 3 times 3, which is 9, take away 1, and I get 8. That looks like that might be it because that's my magic number. But let's test D just to make sure. I put a 3 where m is. That's 3 plus 4, which equals 7. Then I take away 1, and I get 6. Nope. 6 is not my magic number. The best thing to do from here, though, is to look one more time and see if it works with another number in the table. So let's take C, which we think is our answer. I'm going to select it. But now I'm going to look at plugging in a different number. So I'm going to erase the work I do, which on your paper you would just work it out next to it a different way. And I'm going to choose the next one up, which is 4. I'm going to put a 4 here. I have 3 times 4, which is 12. I take 1 away, and I get 11. Now I see that it works with another place on the table. So I've decided that my answer is C, that 3m minus 1 is the expression that works in my table. I'm going to show you on the next slide how to do it without erasing.
Keep the math in your system and keep it up.
So our directions again is which expression is the rule for the pattern in the table. We're going to try this now without erasing. Instead, I'm going to look at my E and put it into my equation by rewriting it out to the side. So in parentheses, oh, let me pick a different pen color. That one's not working. In parentheses, I'm going to pick 9. That's what E is. And then I'm going to write the rest. Plus 1 divided by 5. That way I can do the problem. 9 plus 1 is 10. Divide that by 5 and I get 2. However, I don't need to get 2 for the answer. I need 0 for my answer. So I know that A is not the one I'm looking for. Let's look at B. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take 9. This time I'm going to put it in by writing 9 here. Divide it by 6. I can't do that and get a whole number, so I know that that is not correct. Next, I'm going to take the 9 and I'm going to put it down here. Write it to the side. 9 divided by 3 minus 3. So let's see what that equals. 9 divided by 3 is 3. If I take away 3, I get 0. So this looks like it might be the one, but let's test out the next one just to be sure. When I take 9 and I plug it into the last equation, I get 9 minus 9, which also equals 0. That's why it's very important to test more than one, because now I have 2 that might be correct. So I must test one more.
Math is easy.
Let's go ahead, and I'm going to skip up 2. I love the number 18. My son's going to be 18 this year, so I'm going to pick 18, and I'm going to plug 18 into the same number. 18, when I put it down into E, 18 divided by 3 minus 3. Well, 18 divided by 3 is 6. If I take away 3, I get 3, which is what I'm looking for. But let's see if it works for D. If I put 18 where E is, I have 18 minus 9, which gets 9. That is not what I'm looking for. So I know D now is not my answer. So I have just found out that the correct rule for this expression is E divided by 3 minus 3. And I would select that one for my answer.
This is easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Get back to work.
So basically, testing an in and out table is like a big fill in the blank. What I want you to do tonight for homework is I want you to copy this in and out table. You're going to put it in your journal. I've made it smaller for you with only 4 in and out sections. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't forget to also label your 2 variables on your table and input output. After you've copied the table, I want you to test A and B 2 ways. Don't just test it with one number. Try it with 3 and 4. Try it with 7 and 12. However you want to do it. Test A and B 2 ways to find which one is the rule. Tomorrow in your notebook, I want to see the table and 2 tests for each. That means plug in your M in 2 different spots. Whether you plug in 3 and then 4, whether you do 4 and 7, whichever one's your choice. Test them both in 2 spots to see which one is correct. I want to see the table in your notebook. I will see it. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow.
Math is in your heart.